Okay, it says we are live.
We are live, and I'm here with Amy Ebert, and she's here to share about something that's really special that I know that is going to really touch so many lives and really transform your journey on camera. So, Amy's previous career, she catered to high-end clientele as a hairstylist for nearly 2 decades, building most of her business through referrals. This speaks to the 5-star standard she maintains. While she worked in top salons in Las Vegas Strip, including Christoph of Beverly Hills, which I've heard of, it's just like top notch. She frequently served the high rollers staying at the MGM properties, exclusive mansions. These clients often requested her specifically by name. With over 25,000 hours of one on one, spontaneous conversations with clients alone, she's honed her interpersonal skills to perfection. I would agree. And as an actress, she's been directed by Oscar nominated Screen Actors Guild members and Emmy winning directors, been coached by the top 1% of casting directors in Hollywood and the top 1% of speaker coaches. Her experience spans national commercials, billboards, magazines, and interviews with world champions, politicians, anchors, rock stars, and people in highly competitive fields. When you listen to her speak, you will immediately recognize that she is one of the most aspirational and engaging authorities you have had the privilege of learning from. Welcome, Amy. Thank you so much for allowing me to interview for today. So excited to talk about this.
Thank you so much, Melinda. I'm like hearing it back. I'm like, wow, who is this person? So thank you. Thank you for that great
Right?
intro.
Yeah. So tell me more about you, specifically about who you serve.
Okay. I serve clients that I think that the best way to state who I serve
Mhm.
are people who know they have something in their heart and there's a message that they want to get out there. And as society happens and things happen, and sometimes we get distracted and we don't always get to be really giving the message that we really know that's in our heart and who
Yeah.
we are and what matters to us, and then our own gifts can get stifled. So it's people that want to bring that out to the surface and live from that place. Also, it's people who already have, some level of success, like entrepreneurs that have some level, and coaches, and even in corporate, who
Mm.
have some level of success in the career that they have, but now they want to take it more to a global stage. They want to really
Mm.
take it. They want to be like, some would consider like a rock star in their industry if they want to, right? But really taking it to the global stage, going further, not being limited by space and time. Sorry, I forgot to put my silent on here. So not being limited by location.
Yeah.
So this is a way for them to take their expertise and their gifts and bring it out into the global stage and have that out there for others. And I'm going to add a little bit to my background of just my years and things that I've done. Another thing I also did was that it oddly relates is I became a homeschool mom several
Mm.
years ago during the pandemic. I was like, you know what? They clearly are not used to doing this on video world.
Mm.
So I have to be here anyways. I'm going to start homeschooling my son. So I started also, I read a lot, and I have a bachelor's in psychology. So background in psychology, and I read a lot. And then I just obsessed with curriculums and obsessed with learning about it. And I obsessed with learning styles
Yeah.
also. So one of the things that really there's reasons for mastery, and then
Mm.
there's also reasons for spiral learning, right? We have the people think about the one where it's like you learn visually or you learn kinesthetically or you learn, like there's different things
Right.
like that. And
Yeah.
sure, we have like a blend of those, right? We all have a blend of those. But
Yeah.
if you're cramming for a test, mastery is obviously the way to go. But if it's something that you want to be changing your life, the
Mm.
spiral. So I've incorporated this by obviously seeing this and watching this and learning about this and reading a lot about deliberate bad habits that have been instilled on people. We can go deep and go dark on this, but like there's even books in the homeschool world, like top teachers wrote things that are called like dumbing us down. Like there's literally things out there that are deliberately designed to do that. And so this program is, we're getting you the heck away from that, and you're going to live your true life and the life that you want.
I love that. I wrote down a couple of thoughts because wow, there's a lot to unpack right there. Thank you so much. Styles. Like, yes, there are different ways of learning. And even so, some people think that they can't learn something new because that it's presented to them in a certain way. Can we talk a little bit more about like the styles, how you present your training and really help them convey how they need to learn, but also how they can help others learn, their audience learn better?
Yes. There's different, like the different personality types. So some are more audible, some visual, but I would say one of the top ways is if you incorporate experiential. The experiential training, engagement experiential, even when they say if you're listening to an audiobook, if you read the book at the same time as well, you're going to get more impact of that. And then obviously writing notes. If you're doing all of those things at the same time, you're going to have more of an impact. Like I'm a pretty observant person, so I bring in a lot of information at the same time. And even though I'm not a analyzer is not my main thing. There's an analyzer part in there too that's kind of analyzing things to make these decisions, and we all do that obviously to some level. But learning styles, and then I want to speak to that where you were talking about people thinking that they can't learn something. Okay, that's just a framing. That's also a framework to change the framework, a reframing of you just don't know it yet. Like you have no idea, right? You have no idea what you can learn and what you can do. And so it's the reframing. And then there's also two different, there's more than that, but just to keep it basic, two different mindsets. We have the fixed mindset and we have the growth mindset. So if somebody has learned to become more of a fixed mindset, then it's the reframing is a great way to go to really start being conscious of your thoughts. Do the reframing so you now become a growth mindset person who's like, oh, I'm learning, I'm figuring it out, I'll make it happen. I'm going to call somebody I know, somebody knows how to do this somewhere in the world. So you could maybe find out from those people too.
100%. The reason why I brought it up is because even for myself and talking to other entrepreneurs and when you mention corporate, I know that is, that's definitely a challenge for people to be on camera. It really has a lot to do with your perception, like your perspective of what you can learn to educate, right? It's like sometimes I find myself where I'm on camera or, on my YouTube or whatnot, doing an interview, and I'm really stiff. And I have to remind myself, like, this is just a conversation. This is just a way to build authenticity. And from your system, it sounds like you have this system where people can just tap into the person that they truly are and really resonate, really bring that out on camera. So would you mind sharing a little bit more about your system and how that works?
Yes. And by the way, you don't seem stiff on camera at all right now. Okay. So it's, yeah, you're good. You're looking good, girl. Yes, the system. I love the system. Okay. So Melinda and I, for those of you who don't know, we are in a high ticket coaching program right now. And then we can now also bring our versions of our thing to people to help them with our programs also. So one of the things was, there are things that you have a superpower in, and there are things that but what if you had to now create a system for others so that they can now duplicate their thing, right? It's sometimes there are certain coaches and certain things where people want you to just have to go to them for a nugget every once in a while, kind of a more dependency program. But if you have a system, then people are going to be a little more self-sufficient, which is, kind of what we want we want that for our clients. We want them to be able to, come to us, but also we want them to be able to be the authority in their lives as well. So the system that I created, I kept going like a system, I need this system. I need to create this system. And so I'm like thinking about all the things that I do have systems for, which it's funny. If any of you have systems, right, just start thinking about it right now. Like,
they're everywhere.
Yes.
We live in a system. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, that's good too. We live in a system, right? Oh, so pay attention. Is it your system or somebody else's system? Is the system serving you?
Oh, I'm laughing on so many levels. I'm laughing. But I'm just thinking like more simplicity, right? It's a more unified message is the system of, you go to bed, you get up early, you take a shower, you get ready for the day, you have the day. Like it's a system. You eat a certain amount of meals a day, when you specifically eat, what you do during the day, your routine with your relationships and friends and family. And those are all systems. Like they're all connected systems. The system that we live on, the earth, right? The planet that we're on right now is a system.
Solar system.
Part of a system, right? The ecosystem, right? There's so many, like they're everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So we are a system. We're a system. Our bodies are systems. So
yes. Yeah. The nervous system. There's the respiratory system. Exactly. So when you really think about breaking things down, that's a great habit, really, to break down those systems and be like, what do I not need? What do I need? What serves me? What doesn't? So with my system, it's called 10X on camera. And so you can 10X your influence, 10X your impact, 10X your income with my system that, to be honest, going to the masterclass is the best way to immerse yourself in it. But I will tell you, I'll tell you the points in the system. There's messaging in the system, because your messaging is is what you will use to create the engagement with the people that you choose to create the engagement with. Is also being specific about who you would want those clients to be, who your ideal clients are, and the people that you want to spend that time with. Okay, so that's why it's great to have like a high ticket program with that, so that you can serve your clients at the highest level. That's the whole purpose of that, so that you can be your best for them, and they then get to be the best for their people. So there's messaging, and then there's tools. The camera becomes a tool for you to get your message to the people you need to get your message to. So the camera is now your friend. The camera is your ally. The camera is not to be feared. You need to get a message to people. People might be in pain because they don't have the thing that you have. So the camera isn't stopping you. The camera is your ally. The camera is your tool that helps you get that out there. Just like if you, like when I was a hairstylist, like I bought the top scissors because I'm like, I need my skills to be very good first, right? Also, in addition, it's a combination, but I want those top scissors. But it's just like it's same with the scissors, where it's like, wait, if I have great scissors, but I don't have the skills, there's only you need both. You need both. That. Right. So that's kind of what that is. So then the camera then becomes like, wait, I gotta get out there. People need what I have. And it's, so then you've just changed you've just reframed it.
That's so good. Oh, so when I read your bio, and I really thought about your experiences, there are layers to your experience, right? Imagine sitting in my hairstylist chair and all the stories that I get to tell them, and then they tell me, right? It's almost like therapy, right? And then the end result is this beautiful, quality experience that she was able to create for me. And what's really amazing about that is it transitioned into my day. Like, it's just like I elevated to this place. I look forward to those appointments. I look forward to just connecting with someone, and being that you have experience working with the top of the top in Hollywood. And having that relationship where you're connecting with them on that level, an intimate setting where you're basically curating their look, right? That's a really big responsibility. And from that, your takeaway that you offer now is helping people become the person that they're, just like helping them become that person that's connecting with the people that they're called to serve, right? They're uniting themselves with people on camera and seeing that the camera it's not scary, right? It's a tool and it's your friend. Like, I love that because I can easily talk to my friend all day. And it's no longer a foreign thing to look at a camera, especially during COVID, right? We were required to be on camera in order to engage with everyone. And so, like, how amazing would it be if, for people that are listening to this who have a message or who have a book or who have the business or who have something to offer, they're looking to elevate and really connect with people globally, what they can do with a camera. Like, I love
the
that.
thing is with the camera too is, as an actress and a model, I've booked jobs and worked jobs where I've been in indie films, I've been in music videos, I've been in national commercials, I've been on billboards. So I've booked on-camera jobs as a professional actress, model, and spokesmodel, where I've even had to use, like, as a spokesmodel, sometimes the the script is things that are like industry words, right? So not the most compelling script, and I'm speaking into a teleprompter, and I got to make this thing sound like this is the most amazing thing in the world. Now and these are big companies where they could hire somebody that works in the company, but they don't. They don't have the on-camera skills. They're doing their thing. But now in today's world, like we're talking about with Zoom and all that starting, and now we're more virtual, it's like people don't have these skills because you haven't had to. But now it's like video is king. That's the number one way to increase your know, like, and trust for your brand is getting those skills and getting it out there. That thing that you already do. Now I help you get those on-camera skills, and the formula that I use is something that I use that I've learned from all my acting classes. It's like, you're the star in your movie. Stop being on the cutting room floor. This is how you do it.
Yeah, I love that. Wow. Okay, so you're so right. Video is king. Video is king. It's oh my gosh. And when we're talking stages, right? Like, we're talking, I'm imagining virtual and in-person stages where you are in an in-person stage where there is a camera where you can really convey that personality out there. So it's not just, for people that are at home in front of the cameras. It's really for folks that are in front of, on stages, physical stages with cameras in the room where they can convey that personality and create that experience virtually.
And be aware of the camera.
Being
aware
that's
of
it. That's a whole thing on its own. There was one time in my life so far that there was 3 cameras set up. I don't know what they're called, the setup, or I'm sure there's a technical term for it. There was one in front of me, one left to the right of me, and somehow I had to watch the light wherever the attention was. And I was frantic the whole time. I was like, this was the hardest 30 seconds of my life. But yes, that is so true. That is so true. Just to be aware. The awareness is, it's like just connecting with the camera in that way.
And that is one of the things with my system, actually. On camera is the vehicle, but you can use my system. People will realize you can use this system anywhere. Because as soon as this was like, I feel like it was somewhat downloaded, as strange as that sounds. Like, it was down because I was like, just people who are like me, I'm like a creative perfectionist. So we don't just choose the easy route. We choose, like, this has to be like, everybody has to really feel like, okay, wait a second, this really, really lands. It's not like the steps you can just pick out, chapters in a book. This has to be something that's really like, okay, like there's a life purpose in there. There's like a life purpose in this one. And it's like something basically like, how actors will look at how they go through an entire movie, and there's like an overarching goal, and then there's like scene goals, and you have to kind of earn your way through everything. But this is definitely something, the camera is the vehicle, because it's like, we need it. Like actually one of the coaches in the group we're in, she was like, this is the thing you need to teach people. This is the thing that people need. And I was
100%.
like, yeah, so it's just like, okay, so I'm coming up with a system for that one, using my experience, coming up with a system. And then coincidentally, it's a system that people can actually use in other areas and make it so much easier for your decision making throughout the day. And so it's just like, it makes it so easy. Okay, this belongs and this doesn't. And so it's just like, it's really fun. And then the odd thing that happened is I noticed some people that have really made it big. And I started seeing like, oh my gosh, that's the system. Wow, that's there. I don't even know if they're conscious of it, right? But I'm like, you can see it. You can see it. So it's pretty cool. So I have that in the masterclass, of course, because it's like it's there's so much to really go deep into it.
I can't wait for this masterclass. It's on my calendar. I'm like, I need to be there. I need to be there because you're right. The skills. I mean, do you know this could be just like, I mean, that perfect example was they couldn't bring anybody from their company onto in front of the camera, right? Like so many opportunities utilizing this very, very valuable skill. It's a very valuable, I mean, just all of the outlets that utilize video right now, and there will be more opportunities, right? And so when you have this skill and down pat, because her system is so easy and clean and clear and comprehensive, man, I mean, sky's the limit in terms of opportunity to get your message out there. So
absolutely. Now, you're the one they think of with your thing. They're like, oh, I know so-and-so, and the more you're comfortable you are, the better it gets. It just keeps getting better and better. And then pretty soon it's just like, boom. And that's in the system too.
Oof. This is so amazing. So when you're talking with people about your offer, your system, your masterclass, like what are things that are holding them back from moving forward and taking the next step?
Okay. So just from what, we've experienced with clients and what people have told us and different things, there's a few things. Actually, I just did my most recent podcast on things that hold people back. I think it's like top 8 things. And but I have it on the channel as well. And I do like little snippets. I do little snippets each week, just some thoughts of things. And I would say the number one is perfectionism, which is, there's the whole like fear of what other people are going to think, which is the judgment, right? Public speaking is the number one fear for a reason. This is very public. This is very public. Even if people are just doing it on the camera for themselves, right? There's just something. So, but if you have the fear of perfectionism, you're worried about what people think, so you procrastinate, you don't do it, you avoid it, you procrastinate, you aren't going to get better.
That's true.
So it's a vicious cycle. So, but that's it. It's the fear of what other people think. But guess what? They're probably not your audience anyway.
That's true.
They're probably not your audience anyway. So that's why it's like you have the system to go, oh, okay, all right. So let's figure out who we're trying to talk to, who needs what you have. Let's get the messaging down. Let's get the right tools. Let's, and like you're saying, even with other stages, there's a lot of stages that you can go on. Your stage can be your dining room table with your family. That's also a communication stage right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Because you want the engagement too. Yeah. So I would definitely say it's perfectionism. And I understand people wanting to do a good job, but you're worrying about the people who aren't taking any chances and aren't taking any risks anyway. So that's not the right people. And then if you can get a few steps ahead of them, maybe they'll go, okay, they're still doing it. Maybe they'll teach me how to do it. They're still doing it, even though we were all kind of being judgy, and they're still going and they're actually having some success. They're looking pretty good. Maybe I could do it too then. So you're not only, this is going to sound, but you get it. You get entrepreneurs get it and creative types get it. It's like you aren't only holding yourself back. Who else are you holding back?
Ooh. That's the worst place to be in, when you know that you have a message and you're just afraid to share it because of your own insecurity. It's selfish.
Ooh,
Selfish.
it is, because you're focused on yourself, aren't you? Yes. Yes.
It's like you have a gift for someone, but you're not willing to go and give it to them.
And okay,
Hurts.
I'm going to do a Rick Rubin quote right now. Okay.
Yes.
And okay, this is a good one. People need to listen to this. I'm going to botch the quote. I'm paraphrasing the quote. Okay. But he says, and I love this, and I'm even throwing this in because I'm like, this so fits in my masterclass. But he says, the idea is out there. Okay. It landed on you. The idea needs a host. So if you don't do something with it, the idea is going to move on and find a host who will. And you're going to be like, dang it, that was my message.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
100%.
Yeah. The idea is out there. It needs a host. So if it lands on you, that's the gift. Like you're saying, Melinda, that's the gift. And you're like, okay, I'm going to do something with it. That's cool. That's inspiring. And that's in the movies too. You're watching the movie. You want to see the person that's, doing whatever it takes to get through the scene into the next scene. And that's what makes you captivating. That's what makes the actor captivating, is like the one that's going for it. They don't start off as a winner and you're just like, oh, winner, winner, winner. I mean, like there's all kinds of, and then that's what's exciting. That's why we tune in to watch it. So
100%.
You deserve to be the star of your movie.
100%. I love that. I love that. It reminds me of the hero's journey, and just like, we all have to go through this, the trial, the tribulations, the issue, that, all of that. But when you have a guide, when you have somebody that you can rely on to help you through that process, have a system, right? You're not just like running in directions that no longer serve you. You're running in the right direction towards the right thing that's going to change your life and the lives that you're called to impact. And what's amazing, I'm just going to circle this back to another conversation I had recently, is about ripple effects. So it's not just the person that you're gifting the thing to, the message to. It's the person that they're going to gift your gift to them. Like it's going to continue to just domino effect, to ripple into other people's lives and communities. And I mean, who would not want that? Like that is huge impact. That's huge impact that you can do easily, and it's just like, it's really just taking that message, making sure that it comes across clearly, right? And, it's done in a way where you're befriending the camera so that it exudes that experience. It creates the experience that people they're desiring, but they're really, I mean, at the end of the day, they desire and they deserve that experience from you. So why not, right? It's a skill that is highly recognizable, highly valued. It's just, this is a no-brainer. I don't see.
And would you say, Melinda, would you agree that like once you get going with something and you're helping people, that it almost becomes like an addiction? I mean, you need to have your healthy boundaries. And that's why we have the overarching goal, in our system. But it's like, but it's almost like, okay, like I want to keep doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Like our coach says, over deliver. It is so easy to over deliver because I want to see people win. And it's like, I want you to win. I want you to win. Do this. And you get that. It's instant gratification for me as a teacher, to see someone else succeed and achieve their goals, like to have that experience, that gift, when they open the gift and they, just they celebrate the gift. That itself is a gift to me. I love hosting dinner parties, and people are like, "Gosh, you slaved over this. How long did it take you to prepare it?" Doesn't matter. What I enjoy is watching everybody else enjoy the party, right? Enjoy the meal. Just thank you so much. They're rubbing their bellies like, that was amazing. They plop on the couch. They're like, wow, we're going to stay overnight. Like they're just making all these jokes because they had a great experience. And like if you could, that's the message, right? Like take that message and share it with other people.
And the engagement factor.
Yeah.
that's something in the system as well, that it's there's an engagement factor that you're looking for, and that's really rewarding. That's when you really start living. You can't help but be honest when you really start engaging. So that's you kind of can't do it without that, and it's way more exhilarating to live that way.
Yeah, I'm going to bring I'm going to bring something up to add to that, because I wanted to ask you this specifically with your clients. Would you say that you're almost helping them feel fulfilled? Because that is the thing, fulfilled, right? Like that's the thing that I hear. Sorry.
Yes, and I think meaningful.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, which is probably the same thing. Yes, fulfilled almost seems like you're done. So I don't, maybe it's just but I feel like it's meaningful, like a meaningful journey.
Yes, we're on the same page. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
We're achieving the goal, right? We're just we feel full. We feel prepared. We feel ready for the next thing. It's like we're not holding on to pieces and parts, and someday, one day, might be, maybe, should, could. It's just like we all leave it at the end, and then we move on to the next journey in our lives.
Yeah, and you're a whole person. You're a whole person. Even when you watch a movie and there's the characters in the movie, they're the people there are a whole person, the character. It's not just the guy in the business. Think about the other things that happen. He also has a job. He also has a family. Also has this, that. There's all these things that are going on at the same time. You're a whole person. So you have to bring that to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And that really helps with the on-camera presence also, is bringing that whole person to the table.
Love that. Okay, so for the audience members who are like, they're like, you know what, I want to do this. What can they expect from the masterclass? And just like, this is really for me because I'm excited, and I'm excited. I cannot wait to be there. So, but truly, like, what could we expect?
So I feel like the purpose of the masterclass is the immersive experience. Have you ever been to Branson, Missouri, and gone to anything at their Sight and Sound Theater?
Oh no, it sounds really fun.
Okay, you would love it.
Yeah.
There's a difference, right? You get a certain level of immersion when you're just watching a TV show. Okay, you're watching a TV show, you're just watching some other people do some things, and you get a certain level of immersion, right? And then even when you read a book, you have it imagined up here. You have this whole visualizing and imagining of what's going on there as well. The masterclass is the immersive experience like they have at this Sight and Sound Theater. We went and saw Moses, and it was incredible.
So cool.
You literally had like animals like walking around in the theater. There's camels walking around. Like, it's not just, so now you go from like you watching something on TV, you read in a book, you're there in the experience, you're literally experiencing Moses. So it's not just a stage up here too. You're interacting. I felt like I'm looking around. I'm like, is there water in here also? Like, what? When they were partying, I'm like, what? So that's what you're going to get, is the more immersive, experiential. You're going to walk out of there feeling like, I can do this. I can do it. Now I get why I need that. Why that camera is actually going to help me. You're going to feel way more confident. And the way I call it is 10x influence. You can 10x your influence, 10x your impact, or 10x your income. The goal is yours. That's another thing that I have for this program also, is because I've done a lot of coaching. I've coached, and I've also paid for a lot of coaching, and I've gotten good stuff. It's all worth it to me. But I will say, the ones where they choose my goal for me, I'm like, can it be my goal?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Can it be my goal? So you're going to know what your goal is. You're going to know what your goal is, why you're doing it at all. You're going to know your overarching goal, why you're doing it, the purpose behind all of that. And that's one of the things I have in mind too, because I've even done coaching programs actually where I'm like, these are my goals. And then like we would never talk about it on the, we would,
Yeah.
I would have individual calls even. It would be like, all right, I'm like, oh, what? So like when they're like shoving their goal on me and I'm like, but this thing over here is going really well. And that's actually the direction I want to go. So you choose. It's your movie.
I love that. You choose. It's your movie. I love that. Oh, wow. Okay. So what should listeners do right now? Like they're ready. Yes. Go.
Ready to sign up.
Uh-huh.
Super, super cool. You go to, I chose a domain. I'm like, oh, can't forget it. 10xoncamera.com. Okay. Go there. And here's what's great about it. You enroll, right? I got a free masterclass coming up. There's a VIP upgrade. If you want to get in the private room, have exclusive, you can ask your questions, get on camera, do all that cool stuff. Like right away, just start working right away. And then in the extra exclusive hour. And, but an extra cool thing is I have a questionnaire right there for you just to put, what is your biggest obstacle to getting on camera, so that I can cater now to make sure I want to include that in there. So we're covering all the bases. You don't show up and like you're going to get like more than you bargained for. But I also want to know specifically what is your biggest obstacle so that we make sure we address it for you. 10xoncamera.com.
Oh my gosh, that alone is, I mean, it's just worth it. My gosh, you get real answers from an expert in the moment. Do VIP, guys. I mean, just make it make sense, right? Do VIP, transform the way you look at your camera.
Family going to McDonald's, like it's like less than $50. Yeah, less than $50.
That's especially today in today's world. But
yeah,
I digress.
More nutritious.
Exactly. It's so really cool. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you, Melinda. I appreciate you, my friend.
I appreciate you too. Y'all just make sure to go to 10xoncamera.com, register as a VIP, put in your question so that you can get real-time responses in the masterclass for less than taking your family to McDonald's. All right? Just don't take your kids to McDonald's. Give them something healthy and be on the masterclass, and it'll change your life. And I'll see you there. And it'll be so much fun. I'm so excited.
Yeah. You get to see Melinda. Thank you.
All right.
And bye, everybody.
Bye.